All right, welcome. Hello. This is Doug Diamond. Glad you guys could make it today. So, January the 31st already. Not sure where the year's going, but a 12th of it is already over. Pretty amazing. Let's see who's in chat. We have David Wade. Hello, David. And Elaine Terranova. Hi there. And Robert. And let us know if you're in chat today. That way I will know that you're here, and that way I don't really want to review your song until I know that you're here, so you can ask questions while I am doing that. So I'm glad you guys are here and you made it. My name is Doug Diamond, and we are doing another monthly live stream webinar. And the purpose of this broadcast is to hopefully give you some creative tips and some things that you can do for the songs that you're pitching for licensing. And when I say licensing, I'm talking about licensing music for picture, which could be commercials, it could be video games, it could be trailers, it could be independent films, TV shows, sports broadcasts, that type of thing. I call that sync because that's really what it's referred to. When I talk about sync, I'm really talking about music for picture, just so we're clear. The other options that we can do with Music Ops, and you'll see the link up on the upper right corner of your screen, and also BroadJam in the bottom left. The other thing that we do is placements on radio, like satellite radio, and let's see, in retail rotation and things like that don't involve syncing to picture. So that's not really syncing, that's more like placement and licensing. So just so you're aware that when I'm talking about syncing versus licensing and placement, that's generally the idea. So sync has to do with picture. So Tom is here. Hello, Tom and Frank and Sarita and Mark. Hello, everyone. Kevin, John, Tony. Yeah, welcome, everybody. Glad you guys made it. For those of you who were here on the took part in the Q&A the other night. We had a Zoom Q&A with just a few people. We do that every month as a bonus sort of addendum thing. If you submit songs and pay to have your song critiqued here on the last Sunday of the month. I also do a Q&A thing that's just a Zoom private meeting, and that's usually the last Thursday of the month. And what we did this last Thursday was we had a small group of people and we talked about different things. We can do career deep dives, which is just sort of my term for focusing in on what you are needing specifically as an artist or songwriter, or if you're running a publishing company or something like that. We can focus in on what you're doing and sort of put our heads together and think of best different ways, and hopefully some of the better ways that you can promote what you're doing and put it out there, hopefully get some syncs and so forth. And then we also talk about how music supervisors like myself and others tend to think and how we look at submissions when they come in. And so we focus on those things on our Zoom meetings, and you guys who have paid to be here are certainly welcome to come to those meetings. It's not for everybody. I understand everybody's busy, but we do have fun in those meetings. And what I was going to mention was that in that meeting I mentioned that I lost my YouTube channel this last week, which I was really bummed about. So I'm on a backup channel. This is Lost Arts Radio. This is our radio show that I produce and work with Richard Sachs on. Put out a lot of good content on this channel. However, my Diamondisc channel on YouTube is now gone. So what I did was I moved it, not the videos, but the name over to Vimeo. So if you are interested in music licensing and placement and you want to see any archive recordings of these last Sunday of the month webinars that I do, all of 2020 is now up on my Vimeo channel. So it's vimeo.com/Diamondisc. If you go there, you can watch any of those videos. And not only are those there, but the Q&As are there too. Now, the one from this last Thursday is not there yet. I haven't had time to put that together. But the ones from last year are there. And it might be good information, good education for those of you who are just trying to understand what this sync licensing and placement thing is all about. Maybe you've got some specific questions like we've gone through some contracts before and looked at that and talked about some of the different ins and outs and some of those things you might encounter as a songwriter and artist. And we've talked about PROs, we've talked about music supervision, we've talked about publishing, you name it. We've covered a lot of stuff. We oftentimes have a guest come in as well. I don't do that too much, but we've got a few select guests that we have asked to come in and invited in, and they also contribute given whatever it is that they do in the industry. So that's the Q&A meetings, and again, if you've paid to be here today as far as having a song reviewed, you're certainly welcome to be in those Q&A meetings. It's usually about an hour, hour and a half, something like that. They're not real long. Today we'll probably go about 2 hours, I'm guessing. I've got the normal amount of songs, I think 8 or 9 songs. So we'll take a look at all those. And again, my name is Doug Diamond. I'm a music supervisor. You might notice, hopefully, let me know in chat, hopefully the video quality of this stream is a little better than what it's been in the past. One thing I did was I changed my live streaming software. I'm now streaming in HD. So if you're able to watch in HD, I would recommend you do that. That way you can see my screen and the information on my screen a little bit better. It won't be fuzzy. Hopefully the sound will be just as good too. So let me know, you guys in chat, as we play music, if everything still sounds as good as it normally does. I'm on different software this time than I used all last year, so hopefully it will be better for everybody. So anyway, let's get into the first song. Before we do that, let me jump over here and show you just kind of where I'm coming from. If you guys are not familiar, I am the guy that runs the day-to-day for Music Ops, OPPS. That's the website, musicops.com. You can go there and check any of the different placement and licensing opportunities that we have. If you click on all opportunities, you'll go there. Right now I'm sort of focused in on the radio ones. We've got some different opportunities you can submit to, and you're welcome to peruse that at your leisure. We have video game ones as well. We have placement for music videos. So if you guys have created top quality professional music videos, you're welcome to submit those. We can get those in rotation in places like Costco and 24 Hour Fitness and so forth. That's pretty unique. I don't know too many people that do that. We do have some really good connections in that area. So, but just know that your video has to be top quality. You can't just put together a video of stock footage with your song underneath it and hope that it gets placed. It won't. And the reason is because we like to try and place things that would be mistaken for major label quality as far as the production value. So what we do is, if your song is really good and the music video is equivalently good, then we will certainly pitch it to our clients and hopefully get a placement for you, and it will be good exposure. In the case of a Costco, for instance, that would be shown most likely nationwide and possibly even in other countries. In Costco's in-store, so in those electronic departments where they have TVs, they're usually showcasing their 4K TVs, trying to sell TVs and so forth, and they'll play videos on there. So we actually have the connections to do that. We can get music videos on there, and also 24 Hour Fitness, and we also work with Target and Walmart, some of the others too. And those are on here. So if you have music videos, that might be a good option for you. We also have some different opportunities as far as placement in TV and commercials. You'll see most of those same opportunities over here on BroadJam. The link is in the bottom left corner. And it's pretty much the same ones for the most part. You won't see some of these on musicops.com. Like, I don't think we have the NBA one on there right now. It is on BroadJam, so if people are interested in submitting music to be considered for NBA games, as in the basketball games, we could certainly pitch them for you if they are the right type of thing. But the energy has to be good, and the song has to be absolutely knock your socks off great. So anyway, just know that we have done that, and we will continue to do that as well. We work with different sports placement places, and hopefully can get your song into some different sports trailers. And there's more about that on musicops.com if you want to take a look. You're welcome to do that. So, all right, let's get into the first tune. So we have as per usual, we have Dougie. I'm not sure if Dougie's here yet. Dougie is in Scotland, and he is several hours ahead, so I usually do his songs first, but I'm not sure if he's here. Dougie, let me know. If not, we will jump into one of the other folks who are here first. Let's see. I know Frank's here. We could do Frank's song. So we have Love Is All We Need by Frank Falgaris. And Frank was kind enough to join us in the Q&A the other day. It was good to meet him face-to-face, well, virtually. And, okay, yeah, good. David says that it looks great on the video stream, and so does Kevin. So I'm glad. That's good. So let's get into the first tune, and we'll just kind of do what we normally do here as far as I like to play the whole song. Now, when I'm listening offline, when people submit songs and they send them either through BroadJam or through Music Ops, me personally, what I do is I will queue up the song and play the first little bit of it, maybe the first few seconds, and then I instantly start jumping around in it. Go, 50% in, 75% in, and then, back and forth, and listen to different parts of the song just to give me the overall feel, because I come from a technical and production background. To me, if the production value is not there, that's one strike against it right away. And that just means that, keep in mind, anything that I pitch your song for, it's going to be your recording. We're not going to take your song and have some other artist redo it and make it even better than your version of it was. We don't do that. That's not what sync licensing and music placement is about. Unless you're working as a music supervisor on a major film or something, sometimes, yeah, that can happen. But otherwise, most things just do not have that type of budget. So what we do is we use your recording. So if your recording stinks, then we won't use it and we'll just have to pass on it, unfortunately, even if it's a really great song. So we do offer production services to hopefully get your song quality a little bit better. I personally do mixing and mastering and things like that. That's really where my background is before I even got into music supervision. And I still do that day to day. That's my company, Diamondiscaudio.com, in the upper left corner. Many of the people in chat today have already used my services, and thank you very much. I certainly appreciate that. So without further ado, let's listen to Frank's song. We're going to listen to it in full. I'm going to mute my mic so that it doesn't come back through, and let's check it out and see what Frank has to say. Here we go. This song is called Love Is All We Need.
Still a racial divide, no more places to hide. All ideas they collide, no time to take sides. Let's all stand united, together we fight it. Political segregation, come on, please don't buy in. Haters with hidden agendas, they gonna continue lying. Everyone up the next, one love, it's all that's left. One blood, we've all been blessed, walk free with no stress. It's time to progress, there's been too many deaths. Take a deep breath, I can't breathe, read what's next. Let you be you, and then I be me. Then together we be we let the world see we are the majority. Clean up this mess, cause we need to undress. There's only one party now, it's we the people, and it's time to confess. I said
that's all we really need. That's how we will succeed. Next time you see me, it's love is all we need.
we sending prayers up, Hail Mary, times are getting real scary. Propaganda commentary, next step is the cemetery. Watch your back, go the line, don't let them control your mind. What's going on with mankind? Wish I could go back in time. Guess out the first stone if you're free of sin. Betcha there'll be no movement. Now where should I begin? They pit us against each other to keep the black and white going, while they worship green and their pockets keep growing. I post up like Malone, smack these haters out the zone. Don't be so quick to pull the chrome. Come on, man, use your dome. Opioids, benzos, where did all the men go? People can't live their lives without an effing chemical. Corner is the last stop. All your boys will flip flop. Jails, institution, and debt. Please let the hate stop. Please let the hate stop. Please let the hate stop.
All right, let the hate stop. I agree. All right, let's refresh the page here. Okay, so Frank, Love Is All We Need. That is a different type of title, really, than I would think of, I guess. I wouldn't think of a song called Love Is All We Need as a rap and hip-hop song. So that's kind of unique. That gives it a little bit of a unique spin, in my opinion. Now, let's see here. As far as the song goes, I had not heard it before today, and I think he said, and correct me if I'm wrong, Frank, did you say you were doing the rapping on that? Is that what I remember? I think it was, and I think Frank's production is top notch. He's got some really, really good production chops. He's excellent at what he does. He's been writing for years and years and has many, many songs. I think in the hundreds. Okay. Frank says that was not him rapping. Okay. Well, anyway, as far as the song goes, I think it's a pretty catchy tune. It could serve its purpose in a couple of different things. The first thing that came to mind, I guess, was just based on the lyrical content. I think it is a positive message, which is good. However, many, especially with sync placement, again with the picture, many of our clients, at least, will have second thoughts about using anything that's too political, that they would deem political. So, because given the world situation and so forth, sometimes it can alienate a customer base or a client base or whatever that they may not want to do. Not saying your song does that, Frank. I'm just saying that in general they may not. If it talks about, like I remember it said, I cannot breathe or I can't breathe or something, and that was a thing last year. So just keep that in mind, that if you put anything that's current that would be considered political in any way, that may be something that could keep it from being placed. Now let's see here. Frank says Stu wrote the rap and performed it. Okay. All right. Well, I thought the performances were all really good. The music production part of it was good. The female vocal, I'm going to go back and listen to some parts of the song, and I'm going to check some of the vocals and see because it didn't really totally knock my socks off. So let me hear a little bit more of it just to give it a fair shake here. Well, let's refresh here. Again, good production. I like the groove. It's good. It's good. It sounds pretty modern. Fairly modern sounding loop. So, Frank, tell me about the female vocal.
That's left one blunt. We've all been blessed for free with no stress. It's time to progress. There's been too many deaths.
The rap is pretty good. I don't totally feel it. Like, I don't feel like he's completely sold on what he's saying, I guess, if that makes sense. I think it could be better. I don't think it's bad by any stretch. I do like it. I think it could be better, though.
Take a deep breath, I can't breathe, read what's next. Let you be you, and then I be me. Then together we be we let the world see.
I like the effect on his vocal, too. I think that's pretty cool.
We are the majority. Clean up this mess, cause we need to undress. There's only one party now. It's we, the people, and it's time to confess. I said
I like what the synths are doing during the chorus, and that sort of bounciness it has, and the hand claps are cool, stuff like that. And the piano and the analog synths, that's all really good. I think that all works well. I'm not completely sold on her voice. I think that's what I'm hearing, that is one of those things that could probably be better, in my opinion. Let's see what he says here. It's me manipulating my voice with some studio. Oh, okay, so it's you? So you're singing, Frank. Wow, okay. Well, it sounds like a girl, so I don't know if you wanted to sound like a girl, but you did. So, but I don't know. It's pretty interesting, but to me, it doesn't quite. It like takes away from the rap performance a little bit. And again, I think the rap could actually be better too. I think it's like, yeah, okay. So I think the rap personally is something that you really have to feel it. Like it needs to be hard hitting, and I don't think it's quite there. I think it's like 50% there, but not quite. So I would probably think about that. I think what's been written works. So perhaps it's just a matter of getting a different rapper with a different kind of attitude. That's something you could do. The female vocal part, I personally like what it's doing. It's just that I don't think that the vocal as it is would pass. I think most people would hear that who do what I do and say, nah, it's not quite there, and they would move on. So, Frank, I think it's close. I do think it needs a little more work. If you have any questions, let me know. But, it's a short tune, so, you have room to expand it, too. Let's look at the lyrics. We didn't actually do that. Let me play just a little bit more.
Love is all we need.
We sending prayers up, Hail Mary, times are getting real scary. Propaganda commentary, next step is the cemetery. Watch your back, go the line, don't let them control your mind. What's going on with mankind? Wish I could go back in time. Guess out the first stone if you're free of sin. Betcha there'll be no movement. Now where should I begin? They pit us against each other to keep the black and white going, while they worship green and their pockets keep growing. I post up like Malone, smack these haters out the zone. Don't be so quick to pull the chrome. Come on, man, use your dome. Opioids, benzos, where did all the men go? People can't live their lives without an effing chemical. Corner is the last stop. All your
Again, I think what the lyrics are doing, what they're expressing, works. I think that's fine. I mean, I like the message of the song. It's pretty contemporary sounding. I think the production value of all of the musical part of it is really good. I don't think I'd change any of that. I would simply focus on the vocals. Once you do, I would think that you could pitch this type of thing for any sort of political-oriented group, organization, even a podcast. I've mentioned that before. Not necessarily to you, Frank, but to others. Podcasts are a really good way for people to get their music exposed to a larger audience. So you could think about finding the right type of podcast, maybe something that has to do with the subject matter that you're talking about. So you could go to iTunes and just look at some different podcasts and do some searches there. You could do that on Spotify as well. You could do it on lots of places, any of those places where there are some good podcasts out there. And there's so many good ones. Feel free to look at that. I do think, though, that it needs a little bit of work probably before you get to that point. Let's see what Mark says. Melodyne and other plugins can do gender changing of sorts. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what you used, Frank. I think it's I actually thought it was a girl, so I wasn't sure. But pretty neat. Tony says, nice message. Audio quality on the rap is not quite as clean and much thinner as the main track audio. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I think it could be that effect. Just wanted to try another thing outside my comfort zone. It's fun to me. Thanks. Yeah, that's true. I don't remember hearing any other song. I've heard a lot of your stuff, and I don't remember hearing any other songs of yours that were hip-hop oriented. So I think good job on it, especially if it's like a first attempt or an early attempt at perhaps doing more. I think it could be a little better, but I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's, you're certainly getting there. So keep up the good work, and let's move on to the next track and see. But thanks for putting the lyrics on here. That was helpful. So let's see here. I don't know if Dougie's here yet, but I do know Elaine is here. Elaine, welcome. Elaine's a new person. I'm glad she's here. Elaine, say hello to everybody. We're kind of in a small group here on the live show, but more people will see the archive for sure. So you get a little bit more exposure that way. Elaine's song is called Every Mile. So let's listen to Elaine Terranova.
It's a sun-kissed day, nothing in our way, gotta get out, I just gotta get out. There's not much we'll need, 'cause we hold the key sent from above with a masterful touch. Love, it's a thrill a minute, laughing it up. Love the world when you are in it. I know we can wind up anywhere, let's just go. Jump on in the road to waiting, we'll have the time of our lives. Every day, every minute, every mile. Stories to be told, dreams unfold, you and I on a natural high. Roll the windows down, blow through town, waving hello, turning heads as we go. Love, keep the music playing, never enough of this joyful merrymaking. I know we can wind up anywhere, let's just go. Jump on in the road to waiting, we'll have the time of our lives. Every day, every minute, every mile. You know, I know we can wind up anywhere, let's just go. Hop on in the fun to waiting, we'll have the time of our lives. Every day, every minute, every mile. Every mile. Every mile.
Okay, Every Mile, up-tempo song about traveling with another person, fun, upbeat, female vocals, positive lyrics, good for commercials. Okay, well, Elaine, welcome. I'm glad you are here, and it's good to hear your tune. I think I've heard some of your other stuff before, and the first thing that comes to mind is it sounds like something, the song with the sort of like moving the what is it, like the quarter note beat, kind of reminds me of something from maybe the 70s. I don't know. Not sure exactly what. I'm thinking, Mary Tyler Moore type, 1970s show. So I'm not sure if that's what you intended, but that's just what it reminded me of personally. It's a good song. I think that the production of it could probably use a couple of tweaks here and there. Otherwise, it seems like it's fairly solid. I think that the, just the idea of it, as far as a song about traveling and having it be fun and upbeat, is all really good. Now, when you write a song about a certain topic like that, of course, you're going to pigeonhole that song to some degree as far as what it can be used for. Because if the song's lyrics talk about traveling, it probably wouldn't be used, in a commercial about laundry soap, for instance. So I think that, you're limiting yourself a little bit as far as where it could be pitched and where it could be potentially placed. But before we get to that point, let's look at some of the production aspects of it and see if there's a way to maybe clean up a few things that I'm hearing. And let's see in chat what you guys think as well. Tony says, sounds like a theme song. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know why the Mary Tyler Moore show just jumped out at me. Sarita says, I lost the stream. I did a right click and opened a duplicate tab and that worked. Okay. Oh, Elaine, you lost the stream. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but I think we're still on. So I think we're good. And let's do some jumping around here a little bit in the song and let's see what we got.
I gotta get out. I just gotta get out. There's not much we'll need.
Now, the vocals, I'm assuming that's you singing, Elaine. The vocals seem like they are a little bit off. I'm not sure exactly what I'm hearing exactly. I think it's, it could just use some tuning. Mark's here. He could probably give us some input on using Melodyne pitch correction type thing. I think that is something that you probably would want to do before you could pitch this song and have it be a serious contender in something that has to do with travel or positive, upbeat theme, at least. Let's keep going.
It's a thrill a minute, laughing it up. Love the world when you are in it. I know we can wind up anywhere. Let's just go. Jump on in the roads waiting. We'll have.
It seems like you may be a little sharp in some places and flat in some places. I'm not real sure. Not being critical. I'm just saying that those type of things are something that your competitors are not going to make that mistake. So just be aware that you really need to fix that kind of stuff. If you feel like your vocal is as good as you can make it, then as far as the performance goes, then that's great. Just take it to the next step in the studio then and get somebody who really knows how to tune vocals and go to work on that aspect of it, just so that there's nothing that jumps out at somebody like myself or other people in the industry who can say, well, so-and-so hit a flat note or so-and-so hit a sharp note, and we're just going to throw out the whole thing. What I've said and what I continue to believe is that in this business, you do not want to give people a reason to say no. Okay? And if you give them too many reasons, and oftentimes it's just a feeling versus something that you're doing, they're going to close the door on you. And that's unfortunate, but that's the music business, you know. And I'm sure everybody here has probably witnessed that to probably the nth degree. So let's keep going. Let's see what else we can find here.
At the time of our lives, every day, music playing,
There was a guitar part over here I wanted to hear.
let's just go of this joyful merry.
There's some background vocals here that I thought were kind of cool what they're doing.
We can wind up anywhere.
With the ooze.
Let's just go. Jump on in the roads waiting. We'll have the time of our lives every day.
So I don't know if that's you doing all the background vocals. I kind of like what the background vocals are doing though. So I don't know if you've listened to any of these other live streams before, but what you could do on this song before you spend another dime is, especially if you have access to the tracks yourself, is you could create a version of this song that's purely an instrumental, and then also maybe another version that's what I would call a TV mix, which is just it's the instrumental track plus the background vocals only, no lead vocals. If that's something you can do, that could be something that you could potentially pitch for different things and not have to change anything. To me, the background vocals seem pretty good.
Every mix just go. And I know we can wind up anywhere. Let's just go. Jump on in the roads waiting. We'll have the time of our life.
Okay, here's the guitar. That sounds like a keyboard.
You know, I know.
You know, in the last little bit of the song here, from about this point forward, you have more or less the full band.
We can wind up anywhere. Let's just go. Hop on in.
And I hear another guitar in there, like an electric. That kind of works.
In the fun's waiting. We'll have the time of our lives. Every day, every minute, every mile.
Yeah, I mean, based on the lyrics, and just so you know, Elaine, I like to have the lyrics right here. You can copy and paste that in there pretty easily. Usually, especially if you're going to send it to industry people, it's good to have the lyrics, so that way people don't have to try and figure out what your message is. It's just there and you can read it, you know. But based on the lyric, the every mile part that I'm hearing, it didn't really sound all that much travel oriented. I think it probably could be used for other things too, so that's a plus. You could pitch it for something for television that isn't talking directly about travel, but instead just going the extra mile or something about every mile being important, walking along through life with this person. you could take it a few other directions. I don't think it has to be exactly about travel. So I would amend my statement from earlier on that. But as far as the production value goes, I think the guitar early on over here doesn't really work for me because it sounds like a keyboard. Let me see what we're saying in chat here. Okay, I'm aware of the pitch correction, melodyne, etc. I can do that. Okay, good. Yes, it's me doing all vocals. Guitars at the end, I did here at my studio. And at the end, guitars and more vocals. Okay, yeah. No worries about the lyrics. I wasn't sure if you wanted it in the comment section. Yeah, I think so. For these type of things, if you're going to make your song public on SoundCloud, you may not want your lyrics in there. It's just another reason for people to listen to your song and become a co-writer, and send you all their suggestions of how to make your song better. But you could, if you're going to use this SoundCloud link as a just a pitch to people like me, then I would say definitely include the lyrics. That's very helpful. Mark says, take a look at the TAL, T-A-L Noisemaker. It's a free synth that has some great presets. I think it could upgrade your backing track. Okay, that's good information. Thanks, Mark. So, and Elaine, I don't know if you have the capability of doing pitch correction. I do know Mark does that. I've actually hired him to help me do that on some other stuff, some other tracks. And, I think that if you're not comfortable with it, you want to put it in the hands of a professional who really knows what they're doing, who can really smooth it out for you. And if you have somebody like that already, then great. I would say bring them in and let them go to work on it. I think that would make the track better. I think what you have is a really good demo. It's a good idea of the overall feel that you're going for the song, and I understand where you're going with it. However, I don't think it's quite there. It's not something I would be able to pitch to my existing clients for anything. And the subject matter is part of the issue, but also you mentioned that it's fun and upbeat.
Lives, every day,
I would personally consider that more mid-tempo. To me, it's kind of upbeat. It's sort of on the threshold of becoming more upbeat, but take a look at it. I'm not sure what the tempo is, but to me, it's not really what I would consider high energy. And a lot of my clients, I talk about this till I'm blue in the face, but a lot of my clients love high energy stuff, especially for retail and especially for sports, television and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. If it's got high energy, it's easier for me personally to feel like I could pitch it and potentially place it. Let's see here. Mark says, and watch for deals on Isotope Iris 2. It goes on sale in bundles for super cheap. Yeah, Isotope stuff is really, really good. I use some of their plugins and software myself. I like it a lot. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful, Elaine. Let me know if you have anything in particular you want to ask about. I think it's a good start. It's a good demo. I do think it needs some more work because, again, keep in mind, anything that I pitch, we're going to attempt to place your recording. So it has to be as good as it can possibly be. So don't cut any corners. Don't let it go if you know that something needs to be fixed as far as something like a vocal, like a pitch and a lead vocal, because keep in mind that when the listener, whether it's a professional music business person or just your average Joe, they're going to connect first and foremost to your vocal. Like that's the emotional connection to your song. And if you have notes in there that aren't quite exactly where they should be, that needs to be fixed. So just keep that in mind. I think it's a good demo and a good first attempt here. So keep working on it. I think you have something here. So definitely keep up the good work. Let's see here. I know David's here. Let's listen to David Wade's song "Eating Crow." And I started to play this a little bit earlier, but I have not heard this in its entirety. So let's check this out. David's got some really cool country tunes. I actually built his website for him, Neon Deuce Music, but it's neondeuce.com if you want to check it out. It's it's like his, I don't think it's really a label. I think it's more of his management and his publishing, that type of thing. But he's got some really, really good songs. So let's check out "Eating Crow" by David Wade. Now, David is probably the writer. He says upbeat and fun Western swing song. So here we go.
sitting in the catbird seat, soaring like an eagle. Just being up that high really couldn't be legal, but you changed it all when you flew the coop and left without a word. So here I sit, eating crow and drinking Thunderbird. Thunderbird is hard and cheap and never goes down easy. Crow mixed with tears, sautés up real greasy. My life just went from the sublime to the absurd. This turkey's here just eating crow and drinking Thunderbird. The early bird gets the worm, the second mouse the cheese. I'm still caught in your trap, just walking on my knees. You love him, you spread your wings, and you won't be deterred. So here I sit, eating crow and drinking Thunderbird. Thunderbird is hard and cheap, never goes down easy. Crow mixed with tears, sautés up real greasy. My life just went from the sublime to the absurd. This turkey's here just eating crow and drinking Thunderbird. Thunderbird is hard and cheap and never goes down easy. Crow mixed with tears, sautés up real greasy. My life just went from the sublime to the absurd. This turkey's here just eating crow and drinking Thunderbird. This turkey's here just eating crow and drinking Thunderbird.
Okay. Very cool, very cool. That was a lot of fun, David. Really cool track. I was smiling the whole time. Well, let's see here. So the official full title is Eatin' Crow and Drinkin' Thunderbird. So, that is a quintessential country song. It's exactly what you would expect. The performances, and I'm not sure who the singer is on this, David, but man, the vocal performance is outstanding. And Mark says it in chat here, super production. Yeah, it is really, really good. So top-notch stuff, David. And I've known David for years. I've done mastering on and off for him for a long time. He's worked with some really, really major names, some folks that you guys would know, and co-written songs with them. And man, I can hear it as far as his progression, the ability of him to crank out a really top-notch song is it's amazing. So just know that type of song is what we're looking for. So Elaine, going back to what we were saying about yours, keep in mind, now I know yours is not country, but keep in mind that David's song is who you're kind of competing against as far as the quality goes, not the genre, not the overall specifics of it necessarily, because his is more of a country and western swing type thing. But you can tell, tons of energy, really, really good. Let's see what else is being said in chat here. This is a level of production that we all have to compete against. Yeah, yep, exactly, Mark. Tony says, great vocal and catchy tune. Well done. Nice toe-tapping tune, Tom says. Yeah, Tom, this is kind of up your alley with the country sound. There are some killer musicians on this. Yeah, you can tell. You can tell that it's all guys who are just happy to get together and play and jam it out, because it's really good. Great musicianship throughout the whole production. David says, I realize it's a little left field, but maybe for something special like a movie scene. Yep. Sarita says, excellent lyrics, vocals, and music reminds me of Alan Jackson. Yeah, that's a good point, Sarita. It does sound something like that. And David, let me know if you're pitching it to anyone like, not necessarily Alan, but someone at that level, because I do know you have a lot of the contacts to be able to do that. Is your goal to place this as you have it without necessarily re-recording it, or are you also trying to get like a country music star to record this song, because I mean you could hear where it could be something that would work on commercial radio. I mean I could certainly hear that on Sirius XM, but I mean like it could be on terrestrial radio too. I think it's that good. So way to go. I think you knocked it out of the park, David. Good job. It's a fun song. I was smiling because some of the lyrics are just like downright funny. And like sauteing the crow up, making it real greasy. I mean, that's classic country line. So, nice job. There's basically no, I can't really give you any tips on making it better from a production standpoint, because I think it's as good as probably getting, which is saying an awful lot. And now, what can we do with it? So, you could imagine that the quality's there. It would certainly work on anything radio. I would personally probably pitch it toward definitely satellite radio, like a Sirius XM. You could go that route. Whether or not they pick it up, who knows? They have so many submissions coming in, but that's an option. Retail radio, I think, would like it. I think it just depends on, because it's talking about drinking, it might depend on the client, and I would certainly be happy to pitch it for you to them and see what they say. They may turn it down because it's, basically about drinking, but it's not really about drinking, But on the surface, it can kind of sound like that or seem like it. I would probably, just to play it safe, David, drop your lyrics in there, and then I'll pass it along to my retail client and ask them what they think. It may be something that they feel like they could use in a certain situation. Like maybe they have some clients that are more like, nightclubs, bars, that type of thing. I don't really know. I'm not aware that they do have any clients like that, but you can see where this type of song will go over really well in a situation like that. So, good job. I think that the sync, let's see here. David says, thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, all Nashville session players. Yeah, I know you've used Nashville folks before. As far as from a sync standpoint goes, it would just need to be the exact right, perfect type of scene. You could see where it would certainly work in maybe a comedy or something where they're set in part of it set in a bar, or a scene is set in a bar. It would work in all kinds of different situations where anything that has and needs a country music feel, and you could certainly use the instrumental version of this, the instrumental track, without the lyric, and that would work perfectly in like a nightclub, country, western, honky-tonk type thing, where your song is playing, the instrumental version of it, and people are talking over it because they're just in a honky-tonk or something, and there's other dialogue going on over the top, and your song is the background music. I mean, the quality is certainly all there. I don't think anything really else needs to be said about that, but just know that I'll do what I can for you. I think that it's a fun song, and it's a lot of really good players, and overall just knocked it out of the park. Good job, David. Let's see here. Yeah, Mark says it's got Nashville session players written all over it, and that's because it was. Thanks so much, Doug. Will do. Yeah. So, David, keep up the good work. I think that's one that it definitely was out of left field. I mean, that's not really what I was expecting from you, but I know you have access to some really great musicians and singers and stuff. So you guys just keep that in mind, that that's the type of stuff that I'm hearing right next to your song. So, I'm going to flag that one. If I was listening to this offline, I would flag that one and come back to it and send David a note and say, here's what I think. Send me a link, and I'll see what I can make happen. And it's no guarantee. I mean, David knows that. We if you're here, you probably do know that we cannot guarantee placements in what we're doing here today, but what we can do is give you the best ammunition that you can use to better your game, to take it to the next level, as the old adage goes. But I think David's tune's there. It's really ready to go. It's just a matter of finding that perfect spot. And which brings me to the thing that I always say, and you guys know it, you probably know it by heart, and that is my job as a music supervisor is to not find a place for your song. My job is to find a song for the place. Find a song for the place. Because I start with the place from my client. That's what I've got. And my job is to find that perfect song for that place. And, I just sent an email to a guy this morning who was, I wouldn't say distraught, but he was upset that I didn't want to pass his song along and pitch it. And I just had to tell him that, please don't take this personally. I am just doing what the business part of it would have me do, and that is, I know what my clients want. I know what they can use in a lot of cases, and I feel comfortable about sending them certain types of things, and other things I don't. So if I turn your song down and don't pitch it, it's not a personal attack on you as an artist or anything like that. And the reason that we're here today is to better what we're doing, to up our game to the next level, so that we can compete with people like David, and people that are getting the syncs, people that are really at that level where you need to be, or where you want to be, if you want any chance of getting placements, And David's got this really great song. It doesn't mean it'll ever get placed and pitched. That's what's unfortunate about this business. It's something that certainly could work in a variety of things, and we've kind of covered that, but you just never know. I mean, it has to find its way to the right ears, and then to the right project, and then at that point, then maybe he can start making some money on it. So, it's definitely a personal taste sort of situation, but I would give this one the benefit of the doubt. I like it a lot. So good job. All right, let's see what's being said in chat. I do have the track mix as well. Yep, I knew you would. So yeah, you could pitch the instrumental for different things. I think that this particular song would work well in a library. So if you wanted to pitch it to like a sync shop, the Global Music Production Catalog Op, something like that, we could do that for sure, because it's definitely quality-wise is there, and it might find its way into some sort of production that you had no idea about. Like it could find its way into a video game. We had an opportunity on the site talking about needing country music for a video game, because they were doing the company was doing simulators for farm simulator video game, if you can imagine. So you can see where a song like this, even the instrumental, could work. Now, a song about drinking probably wouldn't work in the video game, but the song has plenty of energy where it could work as an instrumental, and maybe that could get placed. So, okay, well, let's move on. Let's see what we got here. And we skipped over Dougie. I'm hoping that he's here. I'm going to go ahead and do his track next, Manny Charlton. And his track is called Cactus Rose Cafe. So let's listen to this one. Cactus Rose Cafe. All right. So that's one of Dougie's submissions. Dougie, I'm not sure if he's here or not. It's like 7 hours later where he is, so he may not be here. But now that was definitely a departure from his normal submissions on these Sunday live streams that we do. I think that one's pretty good. It's not really like knock your socks off great, in my opinion. I think it's certainly something that could be useful. I think the production of it's pretty good. I don't know if you guys listen to it very closely at all, but I was listening to some of the different, guitars and things like that were happening. It seemed like a lot of what I would call noodling, which is sort of like feeling your way through the song, and it doesn't have a definitive song structure, which makes it a little hard, honestly, for me personally to place, because there's not a focused melody. Like, there's no main hook. It's just sort of like underscore music is what it is, and that's fine. I think it could certainly work. The quality's there. The guitar playing seems to be really, really good. I just don't really know of what I could pitch it for, other than maybe, perhaps, like a library, a catalog. That could be something that could work as an underscore in, a film or TV thing or commercial or whatever, as long as it was, and it doesn't have the melody, so therefore, in a way, it makes it good, because if you have dialogue over the top of it, there's not a melody to get in the way and clash with the dialogue. So it's really just the overall main groove for the entirety of the 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So let's listen to some more parts of it here and see what we got. You have the stereo guitars sort of going along through the whole song, and then the main guitar over the top in the center. So I think what I would do on something like this is to have an instrumental version of this instrumental. And what I mean by that is you could also have a version of this tune without the main lead guitar part, and just have the sort of circulating guitars in the left and right channels going, and probably cut it down to like 2 minutes, and you could probably pitch that for something. So, I give people suggestions on what they can do with their songs. I'm not saying from an artistic standpoint you must change these things and this will be the permanent change forever. I'm simply giving you guidance on these are alternative mixes you could produce yourself, probably for either nothing or for pretty cheap, that might allow your song to be considered in some sync situations or radio type situations that you may not have thought of yet. Maybe something like a 2-minute version of this song that's the main groove without the lead guitar on top could be something that a library might be interested in, or a video game developer could use something like that, because you can see where it would work really well with someone talking over the top of it, or maybe in the case of a video game you'd have on-screen action, something happening over the top of the music. The music's not going to get in the way of the action. It's not going to get in the way of important dialogue or anything like that. That's what we would call, in music supervision, that's what we would call a background instrumental, BI. You have BV, background vocal, and BI, background instrumental. That's basically what this tune is. I think it would work good in a library. That's probably the only place I can really think of. I don't think it would really work on radio or retail because it doesn't really have that feel and it's missing a melody. So to me, it's really, it pretty much is really only good for that type of sync situation where it's a background instrumental. But it is really good for that. So maybe pitch it towards something like that, Dougie. Maybe a like a library or catalog type thing. That's what I would suggest. Hopefully that's helpful. It seems like it's pretty well produced. I keep hitting the space bar and it goes down the page. But you can see where it does seem like kind of the same thing over and over. So I think if you had a shorter version of it, that might be helpful as far as pitching it. You could have the 2 or 2.5 minute version without the lead vocal or without the lead guitar in there, and then also have another version with it in there, and just have a shortened version that you could pitch for, libraries and catalogs and stuff like that. So that's my suggestion. I don't know. Let's see what else is going on in chat. Could use some dynamic changes. Yep, changes in dynamics. Would re-record the lead bend that Borderlines tune issue. Okay, yeah, could use some changes in dynamics. Yeah, it does sort of stay. It's kind of like all the way through. It doesn't really change, and you can see it on the screen. There's no there's no flow up or down. And normally you would have let's look at Elaine's song just as an example. You can see here where there is some dynamics. You can see it dips down here, it dips down here, and it goes up here, and it goes up here. So, that dynamic range is actually really important. Whereas this, I think it could work for something really specific like a library, but otherwise, I would say keep going, keep working on it. If you're going to expand it and add to it, that'd be great. But if you're not, then it does have some limited usage, in my opinion. So hopefully that was helpful. I don't think Dougie's here. Let's see here. Manny Charlton was the lead guitarist for famed rock band Nazareth from Scotland. Oh, yeah, okay. Wondering if that was the same guy since it's official Manny Charlton, Remember Love Hurts. Okay, yeah, I didn't know that, David. Thanks. I guess I need to brush up on my history. Well, that does explain things. That's the Scotland connection because Dougie is in Scotland. And the other thing that he told me was that this song, or I don't know if it's this song, but this artist, the connection to Manny Charlton, Dougie told me was the reason that Axl Rose got a friend request from Axl Rose on LinkedIn. I think that's what he said. I thought that was pretty funny. So that explains it, the Nazareth connection. So yeah, pretty cool. So anyway, again, the performances, the quality, all that stuff is there. Dougie's stuff is always excellently produced. This song is a little bit of a departure from what we normally get from his submissions, but I think it's still really good. It's just one of those things where, for me personally, I would say, yeah, I would steer you toward a library. And otherwise, I think we could, probably make some other edits and have some other things that you could pitch for more specific things, like I was talking about with the shortened versions. So anyway, hopefully that helps Dougie, and we'll move on. Let's see here who we've not worked on yet. We've got Mark's tune, we've got Kevin's tune, David Churchill. I don't know if David's here. David Churchill, let me know if you're here. I know Tom is here, and John is probably not here, but we'll listen to his. We'll do his last. I think he may be traveling or out. Let's do Kevin's song. We've got Move On. I know Kevin's here. At least he was earlier, so let's check this one out. He's got some good tunes. We've heard some in past live streams. So here we go. Kevin, good tune. I like it. Very neat. Let me refresh. Very cool track. Move On, and it certainly does do that. It moves on really well. It's tons of energy. Upbeat jazz rock. Yeah, I mean, it's so well done. I was actually getting chills as I was listening to it, Kevin. I love that style of music. So nice job. Nice work. Gosh, where could we go with this? I mean, you guys have, most of the people in chat probably have heard some of Kevin's other songs here. Oh, David's here. Okay, good. Let's see what chat says. Excellent track performances and production as well. Elaine says good tune, lots of section changes. Yeah, yep. Great feel, mood, super production, and energy. David Wade says yes, all the above. So, you all who have heard Kevin's stuff before in these live streams, now I helped Kevin get a Christmas retail placement a couple months ago, and that's really the first song that I remember hearing of his where I'm like, wow, Kevin's on the map. Kevin is somebody that I'm really paying attention to because I really respect his production and his performing, and I can tell he's just an excellent musician. So good job, Kevin. I have no comments on the production value of it because it's so good. I mean, it's really, really good. Top-notch stuff. Absolutely hear something like this on the radio. I would say we could pitch it to certainly libraries too. Libraries would love something like this just to have in their arsenal. It's a really good 3.5 minute, I think it was 3.5 minute piece. 3:19. And so, the length is just right. It's not an epic 8-minute jazz song or something, which I don't really like pitching those. So it's in the ballpark as far as the time goes. It's got tons of energy. I think it would work great on the right stations, the right channels on Sirius XM. There's some I'm sure that would probably be open to listening to and considering it, so that's an option. Sirius XM. Retail, maybe. Most of my retail clients tend to like more poppy type stuff versus jazz, but man, it's a really good track. I could see where it would work in the right library and would work on the right radio situation. Oh, John's here. Okay, hey John. Yeah, nice groove, Tom says. Let's listen to some more parts of it, and let's see what else we can pick up on. One thing I was really loving was this solo down here. Right here. I guess I missed it. Very cool. I like how it pans too. It gives it some natural movement. It's not boring. It's like constantly moving, constantly progressing, and getting better. That's one thing I really like about Kevin's stuff. I've noticed that he's really good at that, and that's what in all honesty, when you're pitching towards even things like libraries, they're looking at that type of stuff, and the reason is because you don't want this over and over sort of monotonous drone with hardly any changes. You want dynamics and you want changes and additions as the song progresses, so that you can, when you hand this song off to, say, a video editor, he can find the part that he likes that best fits the picture. So it gives him some options as far as what he cuts and uses, because he's not going to use the whole 3 minute and 19 seconds. He's probably going to use 20 seconds or 45 seconds or something. And honestly, a song like this with this caliber, I think that it could work in a variety of different situations. I was also noticing the horn parts. Let's listen to that. cool piano. I think the piano that he does is one of my favorite aspects of Kevin's stuff. So Kevin, let me know, are those horns real, or my guess is they're samples, and I think you're probably just that good at playing them. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's probably samples, but man, you wouldn't really know it if that's the case. They sure sound real. So good job. I'm not sure if Kevin's still here. Yeah, I guess he is. Let me know what you say about the horns, and then let's see what else. This is kind of a neat, dynamic range part that I was talking about earlier, where it goes to the piano. Gives a nice little break there. So yeah, and just along those lines, Kevin, let me know. Do you do everything? Is everything I'm hearing? Is that all you? Like, did you program the drums? Did you do the horns? I'm sure you did the piano and all the other stuff. But yeah, let me know. Let me see if it's a team or if it's just you. If it's you, that's an amazing amount of work. That saxophone sounds real, so I'm guessing that's a real player. I don't know. If it's not real, it's an excellent sample. I really like this groove here at the end. It's really cool. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting it, but it's neat how it jumps in there. Yeah, it's cool. It's a great groove. So good job, Kevin. Nice job. Let's see what he says. Sax is virtual. Okay, yeah. Well, it's really, really convincing. I don't think most people would ever know. I thought it was real. I mean, I could tell it was just based on the other stuff that I've heard of yours, knowing you kind of come from the keyboarding programming world. I could tell that there was a chance that it was virtual, like you say, but man, it's really good. Good job. I don't really have any suggestions on the production. I think that's top notch already. The things that you could pitch it for, certainly radio, music libraries. Those would probably be my first two choices for you. You could hear where it could work. The quality of it's there. It could work in the right type of commercial. I think a commercial would be a really good option. We actually do have a commercial library that we pitch to on Music Ops. That might be something that they take notice of. So that might be good. Commercials, probably not so much video games. I mean, you don't really hear jazz rock type stuff in video games, but the quality is there where you would certainly you could imagine it in a lot of different situations. So yeah, the soundscape is very nice, Mark says. Yep, very nice track, John says. John, I'm glad you made it. I thought you were going to be out or something. Yeah, super impressive as a one-man band. Yeah, absolutely. He's a one-man band, mostly virtual. So, Kevin, I guess you did all the drums and everything. If so, that's really good work. So, there you go. If you guys need some good tips on production and stuff from a one-man guy, one-man show, Kevin, in my opinion, is top-notch. So, good job. Good job. Let's move on. Let's see what we got else here. Let's do Mark's tune. Mark, you've got See the World Through Your Eyes, and I know Sarita's here, so let's, hopefully you're both still here. I know Mark is. So let's listen to See the World Through Your Eyes. Here we go.
We grew up in different places, and our heads are in different spaces. Then the question that it raises, what can I do to see the world through your eyes, eyes through your eyes? see the world through your eyes, eyes through your eyes. If I hold your hand in mine, we could walk together till I see the world through your eyes. Oh, your eyes. Oh, your hand in mine. Oh, together till I see the world through your eyes. A little love is all I need. Oh, a little love. Oh, a little love for you and me. Oh, to see the world through your eyes, eyes through your eyes. If I hold your hand in mine, we could walk together till I see the world through your eyes. Oh, your eyes. Oh, your hand in mine. Oh, together till I see the world through your eyes.
All right, so Mark and Sarita, nice job. I like the tune. Now, he was very clear by saying that this one's not actually completely done yet. I think he wanted more direction, perhaps, as far as is he going the right way with it, and what did I think about these questions here he's got on the page. And Mark's a web guy, so he basically made a page here with all of with the song embedded in the lyrics and the questions right on the page. I really appreciate that, Mark. Thanks for making it easy for me. It really is, having it all in one place like that. So his questions are, he says he's using a synthesized vocal for the demo here. So that voice you just heard, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there are ways to synthesize a human voice and make it sound pretty real. And that's what he's using here as a simulation before he goes and hires an actual human singer, which he does have some connections to some really good singers. So I would say, based on his other question here, is the song ready to hire a vocalist? I think so. I think it sounds like it is. I'm going to go back and listen to a little bit more of the production. And even if it's not really from a production standpoint, you know as well as I do that you could get the vocalist in there and get the perfect vocal, and then continue to add stuff and build out the song from a production standpoint. So it's not like it really has to be 100% there before you bring in the vocalist. If you have someone in mind, if it's the girl that you had sing on the previous tune, or somebody like that, I think that it's probably ready for that. I think the vocals, the lyrics seem like they're pretty solid, and you and Sarita work on these songs together. So the one thing I like about the lyrics is that they're not overly wordy, and that's one of the mistakes that people make all the time. I see it a lot in beginning songwriters, people who are trying to, they put their first song together and they make a demo out of it and it sounds pretty good, and then they send it off to me to listen to, and I'm like, well, the song's pretty good, but the lyrics they just need to be pared down, because most people as a beginning songwriter overly verbalize things and they make things too long, and then you're trying to cram too many words in versus hitting the notes and feeling the emotion. I think is more important versus, well, not more important than what you're saying, but that's as important as the message of the song, really. You want to give your vocalist the ability to breathe naturally as they're singing and to connect with your listeners. So I think the song is probably ready for a vocalist whenever you feel like you have your production to the place where you feel like it's done, quote unquote. The song will be pitched to Sync Shop. Yeah, I think so. And what I was actually hearing, Mark, when I was listening to your song was, this sounds like the type of song would be perfect for a documentary, like a documentary about anything that has to do with global anything, the world, seeing the world through your eyes. So that makes a lot of sense to me, having this in a library. I think they probably would like it once you're done with it. Let's go back and listen to a little bit more here. And he's got some other options, some other questions here too. So.
Of you, then
So we're listening to this song with that in mind, that the vocal is not the final vocal. It's really just a demo. It's a simulation of what a human could do, but the human version is going to be way better, obviously.
With a little love, I can see the world through your eyes through your eyes. If I hold.
I kind of like the drums with the brushes or whatever that is. That sounds pretty cool.
Your hand in mine, we could walk together till I see the world through your eyes. Oh,
I like what the bass is doing too.
your eyes. Oh, your hand in mine. Oh, together till I see the world through your eyes. A little love is all I need. Oh,
You know, it's pretty gentle sounding. It's pretty middle of the road, sort of. Not real. It's not real dynamic as far as the standpoint of it's not like a band bashing it out. You know, it's meant to be more of a pop sort of pop song like this, and I think the demo gives it a good demonstration as for what you're going for. Let's see here. So is the title too long, and what are title options? See the world through your eyes. I don't think it's too long.
a little love. A little love for you and me. To see the world through your eyes through your eyes. If I hold your hand in mine, we could walk together till I.
Yeah, so in chat he says, yes, we will use the same vocalist as the last song. I think that's a good idea. That's sort of what I was thinking you had in mind. I usually keep the backing track a little lean until I have the real vocal. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, I do think that the tune as you have it now is probably ready for a vocalist. So you could go ahead and bring her in, and that'll probably give you some more inspiration, honestly. When you have a really good lead vocal, which we know I forget her name, but she's really capable. So once you have that in there, I think that will inspire you to perhaps add things to the production. So I would certainly keep that in mind.
The world through your eyes. Your eyes.
I guess as far as the title goes, what I was thinking is the see the world part. You know how people do that in parentheses? Have see the world, and then through your eyes would be the full title of the song, and then see the world would be in parentheses. That's the only thing I could think of. I don't think it's too long, but that would maybe give it a little bit of a, visually make it seem shorter than it really is, even though it's the same number of words. If you have the first three words in parentheses, maybe it'll make it seem a little shorter. But I think it's good. I like the track. Let me listen to a little bit more.
Your eyes. Your hand in mine. Together till I see the world through your eyes. All the good things that make you are the reason I'm loving your point of view. Then the answer that I came to, with a little love, I can see the world through your eyes through.
Yeah, so that's a good, that second verse there is a good demonstration of what I'm saying about keeping it short and sweet. I mean, really well done. You want to drill down and make sure you have no excess words, even syllables, and you have the needed amount of words. I don't really think it needs to be less or more. I think it's good as it is, and a good singer will help balance that as well. So I think overall, Mark, really good track. I like it. He says it definitely gives me inspiration. Yeah, I think so too. I think having her vocal in there would certainly give you inspiration to build the track around her. But I think it's a really good start. I like it a lot. I think it's something that ultimately, when you're done with it, I think Sync Shop probably would like it. Just so you know, because I think it would probably work in the context of what I mentioned already, I despise the UN, but something like that, where it would be like a documentary film about the people of the world, or I know that seems kind of specific, but the lyric is probably general enough where it would work. For the right type of thing. So it would probably sit in a library for a while before anyone matched it up with the proper thing. But as long as it doesn't sound, from the production standpoint, as long as it doesn't sound dated, I mean, it could sit in the library for a while before the right thing comes along, and it's like, oh, we need a song about seeing the world through someone else's eyes, and there you go. So, yeah, I think that's definitely a good possibility. So way to go, Mark. Good job. I like the tune. Let's see here. We did Kevin's. We have David Churchill. Let's do his. David. Now I've heard some of David's songs before. He's submitted for various opportunities. I think Broad Jam mostly, but let's listen to "Try" by David Churchill. Here we go. Wow. Okay. So there you go. Try. David Churchill. And so I know some of David's other songs. I've heard several of them. And this one was quite a bit different. I don't remember anything like this ever before that I've heard. The ones that I remember, David, and you can correct me, please. Normally, I think he does solo piano stuff. So let's see what's being said here. Super moody. Yeah, Mark says super moody. Love it. Yep, it is very moody. Nice marriage of musical and production choices. John says, like it, very moody. Could work for a movie background or end credits. Yep, very chill and ambient for sure, David says. David Wade. Evokes emotion for me. Nice. Yep, Elaine says that. And Kevin says, love the vocal stuff at the end. Yeah, I was noticing that too, Kevin. That's pretty wild. I wasn't really expecting that. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking on that song. I do think it is moody, and it certainly is. I think the production value of it is excellent. I think it's really well put together and mixed well. And again, I'm still sort of a little bit surprised because I think I normally have heard, at least the ones I remember, are solo piano tracks by David Churchill. So this one is definitely a departure. I think it's good in a lot of ways. Here's the number one suggestion that I have for you, David, for this song, and that is to have it mastered, because I'm really having to crank up the volume to really get it to where I can hear it at a comfortable level for me, and that tells me that it probably hasn't been mastered yet, or at least not to the professional level. Now, I do that, but you don't have to use my services. You can use anybody, but I feel like that's probably the missing element here in this equation. I think that mastering will help it a lot. It will balance out the overall volume, but it will also give you, dynamic range is one of those things that is super important to have in the songwriting and song structure. But dynamic range from a technical standpoint, looking at it in the terms of mastering, isn't really necessarily something you want, because the lows are super quiet and the louds are sometimes too loud. And in your case, the louds are not too loud at all. It's just that mostly it's too quiet. So I would suggest that you have it mastered by somebody somewhere, and I think that will help it. But it is moody. I think that the first, 40 seconds before the song finally really gets started, to me, is a little too long. So that's really just that's like an arrangement thing. I think that you could probably chop some of that 40 seconds down. Again, not changing your art. If this is your song in its final form, that's great. However, I would suggest having an alternate mix for pitching to film and TV. And in that particular mix, have that beginning 40 seconds be shorter. Maybe have it be 20 seconds or 10 seconds. I don't think it needs to be 40 seconds. It is kind of interesting what it's doing with the pad and the strings. It's pretty cool. I do like it. I mean, it's neat, especially with the bass drum kind of kicking in there every once in a while. It gives it a real ethereal, moody feel, just like what's being said in the chat. Pretty cool. It definitely sounds like cinematic, like a film. Could work in a film for sure. That synthesizer, the lead there is like it's almost like your vocal, if that makes sense. It's like it's emoting like a human feel to it. It's pretty cool sounding. Sounds sort of sad or lethargic almost. I could see where it would work like I think it was John said it could work in end credits. Yeah, for sure. It could be one of those things where it's playing during the credit roll, and you're still sitting there in the movie theater thinking, "Did I just witness what I think I witnessed in the way that film ended, and you're still just sort of thinking about it, and you're still absorbing what just happened in the movie. You know, that's kind of what this song reminds me of. It's pretty thoughtful, it's thought-provoking, and it is moody for sure. So let's keep going here. Yeah, and then Mark says, sounds like it's mixed well to my ears, and love that synth sound. Yeah, I do too, Mark. I think that the synth is really cool. That's pretty unique sounding. I don't know that I've heard that. I mean, it's just an analog type synth, but used in that way to be like a vocal is pretty unique, and it is mixed well. Yeah, I agree. And David says, I plan to master it. Yeah, I would definitely do that. Sounds like you have experience scoring for TV and film, says. I don't know. Let us know if you do, David. It does sound really professional. It sounds really good. Everything's sort of in its place in the mix, and I think that it really works well as far as the blend of everything and how it's happening from beginning to end. I wish the beginning wasn't quite as long as it is, but that's really just, like I said, like an edit. You could do that in an edit. You wouldn't even have to rearrange anything necessarily. You could just do a creative edit there and probably fix that. You know, this song is 4.5 minutes, which I always tell people. And David, you're probably new to our Sunday live streams, and I'm glad you made it. Welcome. But I always tell people that 4.5 minutes is right at that limit where I could probably pitch a tune to my clients and still feel good about it. If it gets much over about 4:45, then I probably would come back to you and say I would pitch it, but I feel like it needs to be a little shorter. So just knowing that everybody's time is really compressed down these days, and I try and respect my client's time. And I feel like in this case, at 4.5 minutes, it's pushing the envelope, but I think if you were to curve back that beginning part just a little bit, you could probably shave off 20 to 30 seconds there maybe, and perhaps in some other places, and knock it down to more like 4 minutes or 3:45 or something. And that might be better from an alternate mix to pitch to film and TV. And again, just having that separate secondary mix, and you'll want to have that mastered too. So what I would suggest on that is get the overall version that you have here mastered, and then do your edits and stuff that I'm talking about. Maybe shorten it down at that point. That way you're creating new alternative versions to use for film and TV pitching, and you're doing so from the mastered version, so you don't have to keep paying to have it remastered every time you change something. Just do it once. That's the way I would approach it personally. Let's see what's going on in chat. Where do I have that edit? Let's see. I don't have any experience with film and TV. Would love to. Where do I have that edit? Well, the part I'm talking about is at the beginning here, and I just feel like it's a little too long from the standpoint of me personally pitching it. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's moody, and I like what the bass drum does when it kicks in there. It's neat. And then finally, about 40 seconds in, it gets going. Let's see. Let's see here. Where to do the edit? That's a good question. I'm leaning towards keeping the first few seconds and then chopping out some a little bit after that. So let me keep listening here. I'm trying to think of a good edit place for you here. It's pretty quiet, so I'm having to crank it up. Yep. I guess I would probably lean toward maybe having it as long as 20 seconds. But if you keep the first two bass drums in there, let me go back. Oop. So you've got this beginning part. And then the strings kind of fade in here. If we keep all that, and then start after the first four bass drums about there, that's about 20 seconds. So you go from here, after this fourth bass drum, you then jump to here. See what I'm saying? So you would keep the first few seconds, like the first, what is that, 20 seconds? Right here. Boom. You jump into that. That's the way I would probably approach it. You would be knocking out 20 seconds in that case. Might be enough. And again, not to change your art, it's really just to have a more condensed version for pitching. And then that way, if somebody really liked it, like if I had a client that really liked it, then you could have that longer intro in there, and maybe that would work better for what they need. I don't know. Let's see, probably could just throw waves one knob louder on the master bus, and that would do it. Yeah. Yep, you could try that. Let's see here. Yeah, so hopefully that's helpful, David. I don't really hear anything else other than the mastering issue. It's pretty cool what it's doing. I like all the different strings and stuff. It's a nice arrangement. You know, and at the end, you've got another long section. So let's see. I think I would probably leave it though, because it's got those cool like a male choir type thing. Yeah, it puts me in mind of the Gregorian chant stuff. You guys remember that? Kind of like that, but it's pretty neat. It's very epic sounding. I think if it was louder, I think it would really be something that people could really say, yeah, I can see where this could work in my film or in my whatever. So yeah, good job. I think it's a good one, David, for sure. Definitely departure. I appreciate that, and know that I do like your solo piano stuff too. It's always performed really well and recorded really well too. So good job. So Tom has been waiting patiently. Let's do Good Morning Sunshine. Here we go.
Good morning, sunshine. You have arrived just in time to make me smile. Good morning, sunshine. It feels so good. It feels so right. So Hollywood. It's a beautiful day at the park. We can go for a stroll or a walk. It's a beautiful day after all. And if you happen to call, we're out having a ball. Good day, sunshine, come out and play. Don't let those clouds get in our way. Good day, sunshine, oh please don't rain. 'Cause we got plans for fun and games. It's a beautiful day at the park. We can go for a stroll or a walk. It's a beautiful day after all. And if you happen to call, we're out having a ball. Good morning, sunshine. Sunshine. Goodbye, sunshine, it's been a blast. It's such a shame it couldn't last. Goodbye, sunshine, we'll meet again. Don't know where, and I don't know when. It's a beautiful day at the park. We can go for a stroll or a walk. It's a beautiful day after all. And if you happen to call, it's a beautiful day at the park. We can go for a stroll or a walk. It's a beautiful day after all. And if you happen to call, we're out having a ball.
Yeah. Lot of fun. So, let's see here. Good morning, sunshine. Yeah, and that was probably, I mean, honestly, Tom, that might be my favorite one I've heard of yours yet. And I know it says it's been on SoundCloud for a couple years, but I had not heard that one. Americana, country, and folk. Yeah, the lyric definitely lends itself to just about anything that's happy and upbeat, and you can see where it would work in. The first thing that came to mind is like kids programming, like kids TV shows and stuff. I mean, you could see where, the kid, throwing his or her blanket back and jumping out of bed and ready for the day, and you could just see how it would work perfectly for something like that. Just a little, like a video about anything that had to do with kids and getting going and being out at the park and being outside and doing all that fun stuff. It would certainly work for that. I could definitely hear it in a commercial too, sort of along those same lines. The quality is really good. The mix is very well done. I like what the guitars are doing, especially throughout the song in both channels. It's really cool, and I like the lead vocal a lot too. I think it really works well with this tune. Let's jump around here and listen.
Everyone loves shopping on.
Let's refresh here.
Full day after all. And if you happen to call, we're out having a ball.
I like what the bass and the drums are doing. That's cool.
Day sunshine, please don't rain.
And the solo in the middle here was really cool too.
Sunshine, sunshine.
A lot of fun. That's really cool.
It couldn't last. At the park, we can go for a stroll or a walk. It's a beautiful day after all. And if you happen,
let's see on the chat here. It says Kevin says, "Wish the piano had a sharper honky tonk tone." Love the tune. David says, "Feel good song." Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a little bit. Kevin's saying I think that the piano is a little bit dull sounding, and I agree. But the playing is really good. But I can hear what he's saying. I mean, it almost could be a little bit more in your face, like a little bit more bitey, a little bit crisper sounding. Especially given how long that section is. It's pretty long. Right there.
goodbye sunshine.
So what was that, like 30 seconds or more? So yeah, it's pretty long solo, but I think it works. I think it's something that would give editors something that they could work off of and include or not include in their edit. But man, it's a really good song. It's very happy. it's definitely something that I feel like could work as is. It doesn't really need anything else as far as production changes or anything like that. So good job, Tom. Let me know if you have any other questions. Yeah, so I could hear it when it's playing better. Yep, Kevin says commercial or morning show of some kind. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, morning show, sure. It would work for a theme song for a morning show. Yeah, absolutely.
Good morning, sunshine, and I don't know when. It's a beautiful day.
As long as that mood fit whatever the show is, as far as the country thing, I mean, it wouldn't work in some big city type deal, but like a good morning type of show, a news show, maybe in a rural area or something like that where they're needing music. Who knows? Yeah, it could work.
At the bar, we can go for
I guess, the kids thing was really my first instinct, was that it would really work in something like that, which is a little hard to find, but it is doable. I mean, it's possible. So I would steer you probably towards certainly radio. I think retail radio would probably like this song, actually, because it does have good energy and it's very happy and upbeat and positive and all that. So I think that retail radio actually would be something that I personally would be fine pitching it for, as well as to libraries. And if something came along, for me personally, if something came along in the kids genre, I would probably definitely pitch it for that, because you could hear it like in a Nickelodeon or a Sesame Street type thing or whatever. But it would work for sure. I think the quality is definitely there. So good job, Tom. Way to go. I like it. Good track. Let's see here. Kids would love this. Yeah, this is Elaine. She says they would be dancing and doing the call and response parts. Yeah, I think so too, Elaine. Great point. Yeah, that's kind of where I was leaning with it. Was and Tom, I don't know what you had in mind, but it's a good track. Good track. I'm not sure if that's you singing or if that's a studio guy or what, but the vocal is really good. I think it works really well with that song, and yeah, excellently done. Yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. All right, well, good track. All right, we have some good ones today for sure. What do we have left? We have John's track. Is that all that's left? Did I miss anybody? I think we're down to the last one. Yep, we did all these. So let's listen to John. John's been patiently waiting too. Always Looking. So John Kelly Wilson, he is another guy that he's been here a bunch and submitted some tracks, and man, his songs are always just excellent. Really, really good stuff. I have not heard this one yet before, and looking forward to hearing this one and see what it's all about. Always Looking. Here we go.
We're starting to get those looks, those looks that come near closing time. All that's left in this place are the lonely ones, and you and I trying to drink problems off our minds. Always looking for something better, always looking for something new, always looking for what you want when it's right in front of you. Grass always seems greener from across a crowded bar. One more drink will keep us from looking down the road too far. Same old, started getting stale. We're like an old pair of shoes, our souls wore out. You aren't looking at me like you used to do. We have to find a way to stop thinking for one and go back to thinking like two. Always looking for something better, always looking for something new, always looking for what you want when it's right in front of you. Grass changed. Well, we're both at the crossroads. You and I have to figure out which way to go. Don't know where the hell this thing is going to, but I know one thing is true. I don't ever want to lose you. Time to pay our tabs, start looking back, get back to loving each other like we used to do. Always looking for something better, always looking for something new, always looking for what you want when it's right in front of you. Grass always seems greener from across a crowded bar. One more drink will keep us from looking down the road too far. That one more drink is gonna keep us from looking down the road too far. That one more drink is gonna keep us from looking down the road too far.
Neat. All right. Well, we got kind of a country theme going on today, I guess. But now that one it says this is a new track produced in Nashville by a Writers Paradise Studios, written in a contemporary country pop mode with a R&B vibe. Yeah. So yeah, it definitely has a country feel to it to a certain degree, but I hear the R&B influence too. And that picture is downtown Nashville. I've been in that intersection many times, so kind of it's like a home track here for me listening to this. John, his stuff's always really good. The songwriting is excellent. I'm not sure who sang what and who did what here, but you can tell it's really top notch. The production is really good. One thing I noticed, it seemed like it was pretty even keel throughout. I'm used to some of the stuff I've heard of his before had these really soaring choruses that really just build up and let go. This one was not that way, but I think it's not that way on purpose. It's not something that he missed. In other words, it's something that was, this song is just written to be a bit more low key and lower energy. So as far as the quality goes, I mean, the production value is excellent. I don't really hear anything there that I would change.
Grass always seems greener from across a crowded bar.
The vocals are excellent.
One more drink will keep us from looking down the road too far.
I mean, it sounds like something you hear on the radio. Honestly, it could certainly work in like a Sirius XM sort of situation. I could see where maybe a channel or two of theirs could be interested in this song.
Same old, started getting stale. We're like an old play.
I'm guessing, now I don't know if that's you singing, John, or what, but I guess that's the same singer as the other tracks I've heard.
One, looking for what you want when it's right in front of you. Grass always seems greener from across a crowded bar. One more drink will keep us from.
I love the background vocals too, very cool.
Looking down the road too far. Don't know where the hell this thing is going to, but I know one thing is true. I don't ever want to lose you.
Yeah, so in the chat he says on purpose. Yeah, so I guess talking about low energy on purpose, that's fine. Nice song and excellent, Sarita says. And Mike Lusk on vocals. Oh, yeah, you told me that before. That's right. Yeah, I've heard him before. Excellent vocals. Very well done. I think that this song could work, like I said, radio for sure. I think that I would probably say libraries, probably more than anything else as far as sync goes, because you never know. I mean, something could pop up where it would work in some sort of sync situation. It would be nice to have the lyrics on here, so I don't know exactly what, I didn't really listen to all the words verbatim to know exactly what the song's about, but it's really well done. Let me go back and hear a little more.
Used to do. Always looking for something better. Always looking for something new. Always looking for what you want when it's right in front of you. Grass always seems greener from across a crowded bar. One more drink will keep us from.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually saying a lot. There's a lot going on here from a lyric standpoint.
Looking down the road too far. That one more drink is gonna keep us from looking down the road too far. That one more drink is gonna keep us from looking down the road too far.
Yeah.
Drink, looking for something new to keep us from looking down the road too far.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it would work in a variety of different situations, and I agree with what Elaine says. Good song, even without the big chorus, it kept me engaged. Yeah, it's because the vocals are so good and the production value is good and the lyrics matter. I mean, the lyrics are, you could tell, are something that are meaningful, and I think that this song probably would probably work in the right radio context, like a Sirius type of thing, or I don't think my retail client would go for it just because it's more low energy. But I could hear where it would work in the right, like, restaurants and stuff like that, perhaps. I don't think my client would go for it, but I could hear where it could work. Because it's pretty mellow, it's pretty low key on purpose, like John says here. Let's see here. Thanks, everyone. And yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. I think it's a good track. I really do like it. I think it definitely shows your flexibility as a writer and arranger, and good track. I like the R&B vibe. I wasn't really expecting that necessarily, but I thought it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, you guys. I guess we're done for the day. That was the last track, and I don't know if I showed you this last time, but I might have. I can't remember. I built a new website. It's available now. It has been for a couple months. Diamondiscaudio.com, and if you go there, you can go to sync licensing. And right now, the only thing that's embedded is the one YouTube that's left after my channel disappeared. This is actually on the Lost Arts channel. That's why it's still there. But I'm going to replace this, and I'm going to embed the stuff from the Vimeo, the new Vimeo setup. And here's the Vimeo page, vimeo.com/Diamondisc. And here's all the past live streams. And you can go there and watch them. You can also click on all and get to any of these other Q&As that we did. We did some here where we had some guests and things like that. So you can go back and feel free to peruse the Diamondisc channel on Vimeo. Everything that I've done. The only thing I'm missing is the January of 2019 live stream I did, like today, is one that I lost when my channel disappeared. I guess I thought I had it downloaded, but I guess I didn't. I can't seem to find it anywhere. Otherwise, everything else is there, so feel free to look at that. This video will be on there. It will probably stay on the Lost Arts channel, too, as an unlisted video so that the link continues to work. I'll try and do that. But I will most likely copy it over to the, definitely copy it over to the Vimeo channel. That's where everything's going to be. That's going to be the music tips and music licensing tips stuff. So anyways, our next live stream will be the 28th. So February the 28th. So we're managing to hit the exact last day of the months so far this year. So there we go. And so I will look forward to seeing you guys again then, and see some of you before that in our Thursday Q&A. And the Thursday Q&A, the next one will be the 25th. So February the 25th. Circle your calendars if you can make it. We'd love to have you there. And feel free to bring any topics that you would like to discuss, and we'll have something fun and exciting to talk about, as we always do. But thank you guys for being here today. I know it's been a long haul. We're 2 hours and 15 minutes in, but it's a good education, I think, for all of us. Because I'm trying to help you guys, and you guys are helping me too by providing some songs here that I feel like I could pitch to my clients and stuff. So Anyway, that said, hope you guys have a great rest of your day today, and I guess I will see you again very soon. So you guys take care. Feel free to look me up on diamondiscaudio.com. You can shoot me an email through my Music Ops address if you want as well, Doug@musicops.com. And definitely peruse those websites if you're looking for potential placement situations. Now, we do charge a little bit on the front end to submit, and that's only because we can't handle if it was free, everybody would send us everything they've ever written. So think about that. It keeps it more manageable. If you're having to commit $15 to it, you're not going to send every single song you've ever written, which we don't need every song you've ever written. We only want the best ones, right? We want the best ones so that we can pitch those. So that's the whole idea in charging the submission fee. It's not to pilfer you. It's not to pick your pocket or anything. It's strictly to get you to think about before you hit the submit button, before you send it. Is this the song that is the best that I can make? Is this the song that really fits what you're looking for? And what we do at Music Ops is something a little different that most people don't do, and I've talked at length about this, but one of the things that we do, though, is that if you pitch a song to us and we feel that it doesn't really work for what you pitched it for, we'll still consider it for other things. Any of our open opportunities are really up for grabs as far as if you pitch a song and you send it to the retail radio thing and we feel like, it'll work better in this other situation. Maybe we want to pitch it to our commercial library op or to our NFL op or NBA op or something like that, then we'll do that instead, and gives you a good chance of getting it placed. So we don't just listen to the song that you submit to us in the context of that particular opportunity and say, nope, it doesn't work, and then write you off. If it's a great song, we want to try and place it. We want to at least try and pitch it. So that's our first goal, is to just pitch it if it's a good tune. So anyway, I hope you guys learned a little something today. I know I did. I always do in these things. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys again next month. So let's find a good outro song here. I've got a new band that I like to listen to. Let me see if I can find their track. They actually sent me a shirt of theirs from their album. I'm not sure which album it was, but it's called Night Without Cars. So check out this song. It's pretty good. And I'll see you guys next month. Take care.